Okay, welcome to our latest endeavor. This is Main Street Pizza and Tap, Mammoth Lakes' soon-to-be newest pizza place. We're going to feature East Coast style New York pizza, pizza whole, pizza by the slice, paired with some other options too as well. Not just pizza, you know, we're going to have your wings, you're going to have your salads, you're going to have some other pub stuff, bar food to match our beer system, which we'll get into a minute. It will feed off of what we already do over at Liberty Bar and our menu over there, complement each other, hopefully quite nicely. Yeah, the best part here is you won't have to take out a second mortgage to get a piece of pizza for you or your family. At any rate, this used to be, former business was a yard house kind of style that, quite frankly, they had no clue what they were doing, which was shocking because these are industry people that used to rent this space. So this project has been 10 months in the making. So while you guys watched all my other videos of me on the roof and shoveling snow and dealing with the record snowfall and handling stuff at Liberty, our main restaurant, I've been also doing this. So it's been extra stressful and makes me never want to build anything in this town ever again. I finally got my permits after literally 10 months. We had like 7 or 8 different plan checks. It went for the town, it went down south to another company that the town uses, and they kept kicking back, and then finally it went back to the town, and they were able to handle the rest. So you see all this stuff here. This is all the plans and the layout they have you do, even for a tenant improvement, which is what we're doing. We're adding a new kitchen, and they make you go through all this stuff, down to the parking, structure of the beams, which are steel, as you can tell, with, 2x10 overlay. So yeah, it's been an absolute nightmare and impossibility trying to get anything done in this town and this state. 10 months for this is what we end up doing. So their main kitchen used to be back here. I call it main kitchen when you see in a minute. And this space here is our new kitchen. So in the meantime, we're able to get everything hung. This is an 18-foot hood. We got our stainless steel panels, the plastic still on them. We're going to continue them over here. I got our pizza oven stacked. That was another video. That was an ordeal, getting me even in the building. Same thing with this hood system. Hanging out or hung up on after the rafters. We got our exhaust fan and our air makeup in there. We got the equipment on the roof already. You all see that in upcoming videos, some cool crane shots and whatnot. So yeah, I've been able to move. We did a lot of stuff while waiting on the permits because even the powers that be were just telling us to move forward because the process was ridiculous. On top of that, had many issues. You had many leaks in here, many water pouring in. As soon as we cut the holes in, got everything sealed up. They weren't sealed properly. Well, not properly, just not good enough, I guess. Well, same thing. So that'll be another quick clip. It had water pouring in here. Raining outside, raining inside. Say we have some leaks. That's fun. We got everything sealed up before this tropical storm hit us, which just brought a bunch of rain and nothing else, thank God. And on top of that, this hood system got delivered in its 2 9-foot sections, but you can see it poorly made. I usually try not to crap on other people publicly, but I would never order anything from the company Hood Mart. They are absolutely the worst. Everything came, look how horrible these weld points are throughout the whole thing. The whole thing came dented, multiple dents, multiple dings. They didn't take out the screens that were in there, so all the marks there got all dented up and stripped the finish on them from shipping. Just dents everywhere, tons of dents on top, horrible looking weld points. On top, we had to actually re-weld hanging points for these because they were so poorly done that I didn't trust them. Neither did our contractor who hangs the hood, so they didn't trust the poor welding points they had. So on top of that, their customer service is awful from Hood Mart. Not Air Mechanical, that's our local contractor who does all this, so they're great, they're awesome. Horrible customer service. They shipped me all these wall panels and they put them like inside the same crates as these came. So they were all dented, they were all destroyed. I have them stacked up over here. I mean, they looked like somebody rolled them up in a tin, like a tinfoil ball. So yeah, they're all useless. And then I had to fight Hood Mart to send me new pieces because they're, you know, super expensive. And when they showed up, some of these were dented, so we had to cut some of them off on the bottom. Yeah, so absolute total disaster. Would never use Hood Mart, and ever again, I would go with Captive Air in a heartbeat, even though they're a little more expensive, but you get a good product. So my hood system, or excuse me, my exhaust fan and air makeup are all from Captive Air. So great company, awesome customer service with Captive Air. They took amazing care of me. And yeah, I just wish I would have got them for the hood system. All right, anyway, enough babbling on that front. Moving over here, like I said, everything's a mess. We'll be cleaning this up. Brought in all new equipment, mounted shelves. Further, like I said, about these previous tenants didn't know what they're doing. The space behind the bar and the 50 tap beer system is literally 10 steps. So if you're a bartender, you have to take 10 steps to get your customers beer. That's a lot. So this whole full bar, your poor bartender is going to be running like crazy. I'm going to show you also how incompetent these people were before us. They ran the electric and plumbing underground, which is cool. This bar on the other side has electric for customers plugging their phones, yada, yada, yada. But what they did was they only ran one water line. Where is it? Right there. That's a hot water line. They didn't run any cold water for this thing, for this sink. I just put this in to replace it because they weren't up to code. You need to have drain boards on your 3-compartment sink. So yeah, I'm not sure why you would run a single line. Why wouldn't you run cold water with it too? Like, it makes zero sense. And we opened up this wall, we looked down in there, couldn't find anything. So yeah, this is the talent. And yeah, and these people are in charge of stuff on Mammoth Mountain. So now you know why some of the things on Mammoth Mountain are so poorly run, is because they have not intelligent people working for them. So I guess what they end up doing to rectify not having hot and cold water for health department, they put this sink in over here. So it's kind of a dead space area. It doesn't make much sense. But it is what it is. So in order to fix all this, we would have to jackhammer up the floor, move the bar over. It just cost effective, not going to happen. Same thing, thought about moving this walk-in. As you can see, this giant, beautiful beer walk-in, they decided they would put on an angle instead of squaring it off. So I thought, well, maybe we can move this over, bring that forward. But same thing, you got all the refrigeration on top, you have other water lines hooked into it. It's not cost effective. So it's going to stay the way it is. We're going to make it work. And yeah, rule of thumb too is always have more space for your customers than for your bartenders. So yeah, all right, moving on. So since they did not square anything up, this back area used to be their kitchen. So this is a triangle. If you ever worked in the restaurant business, triangles don't work. So this is now turned in from their little kitchen, which they basically use to heat up frozen foods, microwave stuff. We are putting in a dish pit area. This is all right here is going to be a dish machine. Right here is going to be a big dish machine. Your sink, your drying table. Then back here, sorry, the light's kind of flickering. I don't know if you can see or not. Back here will be our dough making area. You got a big old dough machine here. There'll be more shelving. This will all be gone, open space, flour storage, all that. And then we had to install a 3-compartment sink over here for health code as well. So that's 3-compartment, mop area, cleaning products, all that fun stuff. And then back over here, once we get going, this will be let's see if I can turn on a light. Yeah. This will be the new like family area, kids stuff. There's going to probably be some video games on the wall here. We already have a shuffleboard court or a table here. Just hung a new TV. Not sure what I'm going to do with this wall because this is a divider wall, excuse me, for the business next door. So I don't want to hang a TV on there and be too loud. So maybe we'll do some artwork or a mural or some type of thing up there. And then back here we have our bathrooms. Won't give you a tour of bathroom because they're bathrooms, but I end up just doing a whole bunch of ADA work on there, all new signs, new doorknobs, new grab handles, new toilets, all this stuff. So once again, I don't know how the people before us got away with it because they didn't have any of this. So I don't know how they passed their inspections, or better yet, didn't get sued for not being ADA compliant. So once again, I have to fix all the previous tenants' mistakes. So yeah, it's been frustrating. You expect a restaurant to be pretty turnkey, and it is. You know, some of the chairs we added tables. This is all obviously equipment is going to be in the kitchen. This will all be out of the way. And yeah, we're going to spruce this place up. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. And yeah, make this thing function. It's going to flow. There'll be a table right here. There'll be a little waiting area when you walk in here. Ideally, there's going to be a pickup station over here, ordering. I got to figure all that out. And then basically at the end of that white wall area here, there's going to be a wall separating the front of the house and back to continue to the edge of the walk-in there with a big double door for in and out. And there's going to be some sort of big window or big opening here. That way you can see into the kitchen. The guy's making pizza. There might be a countertop here that we can use for pickup, all that fun stuff. And believe it or not, we're still in the planning phase. Just trying to figure out how to lay everything out, you know, because everything changes. You know, ideally, like a normal restaurant on across the Liberty, we're going to have, you know, servers here taking care of the tables. You know, another reason to have this kind of opening here, which I'm not too big of a fan, you know, looking into the kitchen, all that stuff, but it will be cool. It will look nice. It will look beautiful. But the reason is, too, is I don't know what the labor market's going to be tomorrow, let alone 30 days from now. It's definitely changed a lot here in town over the years. Pretty stable at Liberty, but we have our ups and downs with front of house staff. And, you know, and who knows, could change in the next 30 days when I plan to open this place. So who knows? I'd love to have servers. It might be a hybrid deal. It might be a food runner and order from a window, or use an app on the table, you know, scanning. There might be certain days a week we have servers, certain days a week we don't. So yeah, so you got to kind of just lay everything out that you can easily adjust. And that's the name of the game in a restaurant business now, ever since we dealt with COVID, which you need to be able to have your designs, your menus, your staffing, your layout, be able to quickly adjust to any situation. Because every day is different here in the restaurant business. You'll have weeks that will go by where everything will run smooth, and then one day you'll have nobody show up to work. So it's crazy, but that's like everywhere else. So we're just going to roll with it and see what we can make. And like everything else too, when we get everything set and when we open, probably a year from now, it won't be exactly like it was when we opened. Same thing with Liberty. Everything changes. You got to kind of adapt, and everything grows. You find out what works, you find out what doesn't. But at the end of the day, this will be a very cool place. You'll be able to get a pizza to take home. You'll be able to come in for lunch and get a slice and a beer. We're going to feature, I forgot to mention on the taps here, there is 50 beer handles. So I'm going to feature all the local breweries from June Lake down to Bishop. I'm going to give them each 4 tap handles. So you'll be able to come in here and get tasting of every local brewery instead of going bar hopping, and which people will still do. Going to their breweries are great. Highly recommend going to Mammoth Brewing, June Lake, Mountain Rambler, etc. So yeah, you'll be able to come in, and I'm going to give them each 4 tap handles. So you'll be able to get a tasting flight of June Lake, a tasting flight of Mountain Rambler, a tasting flight of Mammoth Brewing, and a pizza, and share. Yeah, and like winters like last winter, when you can't physically go anywhere, you can just come in here and taste all the local stuff. And we'll have wine too. Liquor license will come. There's 1 liquor license for sale in town at the moment, but it's way too expensive. So yeah, at the moment we're kind of broke here, trying to carry this place for 10 months and building it out. But yeah, so liquor license will come down the road. Hopefully 6 months to a year, maybe. We'll see. And we got a liquor license across the street, so yeah, it'll work. And this is kind of like what we're kind of visioning. You know, we're gonna have your pizza, you have your tasting flights, you know, your draft beers, etc. So that's kind of what we're going for, keeping industrial to match everything. The next big battle I have, besides I have an inspection this morning, which I'm waiting for them to show up, which shocker, I haven't heard from them. We had to cut the hole, so we need to get an inspection for the headouts that we did. Yeah, but other than that, the next big hurdle is that wasn't clear on the plans and still isn't clear is health department always makes you put in a drop ceiling. I'm trying not to put in a drop ceiling because I want the industrial look to carry throughout, because there's going to be a wall here that's going to be 8 or 10 feet high. So this is all going to be exposed, and we're going to have our duct work up here that's going to look, hopefully look really cool. And I don't want to cover this with a drop ceiling. Another reason too is the fire sprinkler stuff. So if I do that, then I have to have a company come in and redo these sprinklers. They have to come down through the drop ceiling and stay above on the on top of the ceiling. So for health code, you need a wipeable surface in the kitchens for ceilings. You know, I think this, since this is sheetrocked out, I think this is a wipeable surface. The pushback I'm expecting is these steel beams. And what I've been told by other friends in the business that had to do it, they don't want to expose steel beams because dust or something can collect on the lip and fall down. Now, I don't know how that's going to happen, but it could happen. So I'm hoping to convince the health inspector to let me tack weld something going across the lip of the steel beam, so it makes it impossible for anything to collect. Anything would just immediately shed off, any dust, any dirt. And at the same time, we're a kitchen here in Mammoth, and we're in the restaurant business. We pride ourselves on being clean. So we would be up there all the time wiping and cleaning stuff. Same thing we do at the other restaurant, and keep that going. So that's the next battle that'll come down the road. But once we get going here, I'm gonna pull the sheets off here after the inspection today. I'm gonna push my restaurant equipment back. I just ordered a bunch of new stuff: deep fryers, grill, griddle, cooking range is coming at the end of this week. So we'll be able to push everything in place so the plumbers can come in and run the propane line across the bottom. And once that happens, I'll get a better picture or some more video, and you guys can see how that comes together. And once that's done, I hope by the end of this week, we can start framing out this wall, or the next couple days, and install the doors and get that going. And then from there, it's just a bunch of little stuff, a lot of cleaning. This place is filthy. There's a bunch of old junk on top. When I first took over this place, I rented a giant dumpster. I mean, like the size of, I think it was a 40-foot dumpster. Whatever the largest dumpster is, I rented and filled it up not once but twice with all the junk that was in here. And I mean, before, they didn't have tables in here. I just bought all these tables and chairs and put them all together. They literally just had bar seating, and that was it in here. They had like this fake little stage over here that they're trying to poach our music scene that we were doing, which, you know, what's the old saying? Copy is the best form of flattery, something like that. Imitation the best form of flattery, something like that. But yeah, they tried hard hitting our music scene to keep them alive, which failed miserably. Same thing with the back. They had pool tables, which I understand for being a little pub deal. I understand having pool tables. People are clamoring for them, but at the same time, being in the bar industry for 15 years, I just don't like putting in pool tables because you're giving drunks weapons. I've seen so many fights. I've been hit with a pool cue before. People throw balls. When we came in here, there was holes in the walls from them throwing cue balls and such. So yeah, it's not kind of what you want to do. But there's a place for it, for sure. So that's why we have the shuffleboard court here that was left. So we'll have shuffleboard, and maybe we'll put some stuff outside during the summertime. But I'm more interested in preparing and giving people good food, great food, great beer, great wine, great atmosphere, laid back, sports on the TVs, a place that you can mingle. So you can come here with your family when you're up here on for a ski weekend or in the summertime. Take a table, kids can play some video games. You can sit here, you can have a great draft local beer, you can get a great slice of pizza, and the best part is it's not going to break the bank. Like I said earlier, you're not going to have to take a second mortgage on your house to get a pizza pie or some delicious food, because I know it is super expensive for a family of 4 to come up to Mammoth, and especially during the wintertime, where you have to buy lodging and ski tickets. I mean, God bless everyone that comes up. I don't know how they do it. You have to drive, 5 hours? You're driving 10 to 11 hours total, round trip, fuel. I mean, you're talking about people are spending a couple $1,000s a weekend for 2 days just to be here. So yeah, I'm not in the business of ripping people off and gouging people. That's not what I like to do. I want to be able to sleep at night if I charged, $28 for an 18-inch pizza. I couldn't do it. I know the food cost, even though everything's raised now, and the labor cost is big time. I mean, I'm going to try and keep my prices as low as possible, but I have to pay people. I got to, we're making all of our dough in-house. There's other places in town that get their dough pre-made. So we have a dedicated prep guy that his job is solely to make pizza dough. So he's chomping at the bit to get going on that. And that's a whole science too, figuring out the water content up here, the minerals in the water and the dough, and how many days we're gonna let sit and ferment. So yeah, we're taking pride in what we do here in, like I said, also too, a real pizza oven, double stacked. I'll get into more on that later, not the conveyor belt pizza. So yeah, we're gonna do it right here. And that's the goal. And hopefully everybody will come in and enjoy it and support us. And yeah, we're a family-run business here. We got both. We treat our employees like they're family. We're growing our little company. Like I said, this is our sister restaurant. Our main is directly across the parking lot, as you can see. So here, when we're full at liberty, you just come over here. You can get a slice of pizza. You can hang out, drink beer, then walk over and catch a great live music show. And yeah, that's what we're going for. Family first here in Mammoth. Building it here, hoping to pass this to my kids when they get older, and hopefully I can retire, or me and the wife can retire and hang out in Mexico on the beach for a while and have the kids run both restaurants. So yeah, all right, well, enough babbling. If you hung in for this long, I appreciate it. More updates to come. I've shot a lot of videos over the last 10 months. Some are going to make the cut, some not. Some things will be pieced together. Yeah, it's been a crazy 10 months, and now we're moving forward. And it's Monday morning, and I'm still waiting to get a call for the inspectors to show up. So yeah, hopefully get here soon. We can get this inspected, and then from there, the hood installers can finish installing the ductwork, which they were supposed to bring up today from down south, but 395 is closed from Bishop on down southward because of the hurricane tropical storm we had. There's some major flooding. So that's what we had to deal with in building this project out, and the anxiety attached to it. It's just been insane. Just issues on every turn. But we're getting there. We'll get open. We'll get it going. It's going to be done right, and it's going to be great. All right. Like I said, enough of me babbling. More videos to come. Thanks for watching, everyone, and look forward to serving everyone here some delicious homemade New York style pizza here in Mammoth Lakes, California. All right, please like, subscribe, and follow the channel. Appreciate it. More content to come. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.